All right, will that focus? Oh, fuck. All right, so this is more of a personal life sort of video, and every once in a while I do like a bit of a fitness competition in regard to any fitness endeavor. I did just recently a half marathon. And it was only because I was invited by somebody that I really respect. She was a collegiate athlete. So I figured, well, I do train every single day, and I do zone cardio every single day without fail, and with the emphasis of nasal breathing, trying to increase that nasal passageway use and reliance. So in this fitness endeavor, which is a 13.1 mile race, a half marathon. For those of you that are not familiar, it's an endurance event, right? So I really wanted to test my capacity, but most importantly, I wanted to test my capacity as far as how long was I able to nasal breathe throughout that entire endeavor. And if you guys are followers to this page, you can see that on the community section of the YouTube channel, you can see my times, and you can split. I don't know if you can see my splits per mile, but you could certainly see the time, and it's not a secret. We ran the half marathon at 2 hours and 4 minutes. That's roughly a 9-minute and 30-second pace. I will say that I came out of the gate really slow, which is what you're supposed to do as an individual who is like pretty untrained in that endeavor. Didn't come out hot whatsoever. Just really kept pacing in mind. And like I said, nasal breathing passageway initiates that nitric oxide synthase, which then helps you metabolize for nitric oxide when it gets down to that metabolic pathway where L-arginine is getting into the mix, and really taking advantage of that. I never felt like I was overburdened with like the physiological stress that running long distances could potentially make you feel. I felt very relaxed throughout most of the race, and I did really feel as though we were pushing the throttle. We were really throttling up after the halfway point, which was around 7 miles. It's kind of interesting to, like, 6.5 technically is the halfway point for a 13.1 mile race. So in that regard, after 6.5 miles, we really turned up the pace, and I felt very comfortable with turning up that pace, especially in the last 3 miles, where that heart rate zone was getting into zones 4, 5. On my Garmin watch, it never said that I surpassed zone 4, so I don't even think I was getting close to zone 5, but I was very comfortable in zone 4, where that's a test of sort of your VO2 max. So I really got into that lactate threshold by the time we got to those last 3 miles, and I was very comfortable there, like I said. And even though my watch didn't track it, that last 200 meters, man, I was pushing it pretty hard, and I was sprinting to the finish line, just so that I could just cap off the time there, right? So yeah, I just wanted to relay that progress, and that I actually do things in real life. I know, like, most of the videos seem very scripted, and and I try to stay very monotone, but that's just because science has to be very objective. And I do things outside of just like reading textbooks, which I have one right here. This is where I pulled some of the nitric oxide stuff from, and like, shout out to Half Price Bookstore. That's where I get a lot of my books. they're eventually all going to close down. So I'm really taking advantage of the fact that I can just like buy books and like drive out somewhere and look at a bunch of books and get them for a decent price, right? Inflation's a bitch. So, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on like what I've been doing, and I draw a lot of pictures as well, and I could potentially talk about animals here in the coming days. I just came off of my my semester of school. I go to community college, so that's like that's kind of where everything is stemming from. Is I I want to stick thematically to ideas. And the things that I do every single day are like are fitness oriented or science oriented, and I don't want to deviate too far away from those patterns of theme. That way we can stay on the right track with Science for the Uninitiated, which is the show's name, right? Anyways, there should be more videos. I don't plan on stopping. I have this camera for a reason. And there are plenty of more things to talk about other than nitric oxide, but I have to nail this. I have to nail this one. I don't care how many videos it takes to really drill into the fact that nitric oxide and initiating those pathways is really important. It's really important in physical fitness endeavors. It's really important in daily life endeavors. And it's really important for your health span and longevity. If anyone here follows Peter Attia, I get a lot of ideas from these guys. I get a lot of ideas from the longevity gurus. It doesn't matter who you are. What is important is that everything is rooted in some sort of literature that's rigorously tested and that's peer reviewed, and I have the opportunity to just like read these things and relay these messages through my own platform and through my own taste and style. And so that's really what we're pushing forward with doing. And I really enjoy talking about physiology, and I can dive more into the weeds of physiology as far as like implementing that from a physical fitness perspective as well, which is on track with what I'm doing in the academic setting. So really exciting things to come. A little bit more elaboration on a half marathon. It took me like maybe a week to really recover from that particular endeavor. I weight train every single day without fail. I do not care what anyone says. I do something every day. So it was very easy to taper off training and then initiate that half marathon to just put it all out there for 13 miles. Really thankful that I got the chance to do it. I'll show you again my race bib. Boom. I don't know where my medal is. It's in my truck somewhere, I guess. I have more notes that I'm writing up. So the channel's not big enough yet that people are requesting to learn things or requesting key bits of information or even like elaboration on past topics, but there's certainly more of that to come. Thank you very much. That's all I have. I'm going to try to do way more videos with the time that I have off before the next semester begins. And even when this next upcoming semester comes about, I should have a little bit more time to allocate towards just like diving into scientific literature and like opening up textbooks and reading PubMed articles to you guys. So it'll be really fun. But I also want to do a little bit more off the cuff stuff like this, where I'm just speaking to the camera. And I finally got the camera amplification at a pretty good point to where I don't have too much lens distortion and it gives me like body dysmorphia. But what is really interesting is that since this thing is so zoomed in, you can see the zit in the middle of my face. I ought to do a video about inflammation, skin inflammation, and why acne does prolong, or what ends up making acne more prolonging on your skin, and what creates acne in the first place. That might be an interesting video to create. So anyways, thank you for listening. Science for the uninitiated.